They say success comes to those who work hard, but the truth is it comes to those who keep going, even when everything in them wants to quit. This is the story of a man who learned that sometimes the difference between failure and victory is just one more step. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Ray. He dreamed big. He wanted to build a business that would change his life, his family, and his future. He wasn't rich. He didn't have connections, but he had something powerful: hunger. He worked day and night, pouring everything into his small startup. He skipped parties, stayed up till sunrise, and lived off instant noodles and hope. At first, things looked promising. People liked his idea. Investors showed interest. But as months passed, bills piled up, clients disappeared, and hope started fading. One evening, after another failed deal, Ray sat in his car, exhausted, broken, empty. Rain hit the windshield, city lights blurred, and the silence felt heavier than sound. He whispered to himself, "Maybe I'm just not meant for this." He thought about calling his parents, telling them he was coming home. He thought about quitting, getting a regular job, living a simple life. He thought about giving up. But then he remembered something his late father used to say: "Son, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, don't stop moving." Ray closed his eyes. Tears rolled down his face. He whispered, "Just one more step." The next morning, he got up early. No miracle, no motivation video, just willpower. He started again. One email, one call, one conversation at a time. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. He faced rejection after rejection, but he kept going. Then one day, when he was down to his last few dollars, his phone buzzed. It was a message from a small local company that had seen his work online. They wanted to meet. Ray went, nervous but determined. He spoke with passion, with truth, with everything he had left. 2 days later, they called him back. He got the contract. That single deal didn't make him rich, but it kept him alive. It gave him hope. And that hope kept multiplying. One client after another, one opportunity leading to the next. Years later, Ray's company became one of the fastest growing in the country. When journalists asked him about his secret to success, he laughed and said, "My secret? I almost quit. And then I didn't." He paused and added softly, "Everyone sees the trophies, but no one sees the nights I cried in my car." Success isn't about talent. It's about one more try when you think you're done. He often told his team, "Don't let a bad day convince you it's a bad life. Sometimes your victory is just one more step ahead, but you will never know unless you take it." Years later, when Ray was invited to speak at a university, a student asked him, "How do you know when to stop trying?" Ray smiled and replied, "When the dream stops calling you. If it still burns in your chest, if it still keeps you awake at night, that means it's not over yet." He looked at the audience and said, "The truth is, life will test you, it will break you, it will push you to the edge. But the edge isn't where you fall, it is where you learn to fly." And then he told them the same words his father once told him: "If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But no matter what happens, don't stop moving." Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is take one more step when everything in you says you can't.